Hi everyone, it's Sarah here, and basically this video is going to be about my orthodontic experience, specifically adult braces and also my palate expander. It all started, well, I guess the reason why I wanted to have braces in the first place is my whole life I've always wanted braces. I used to beg my parents, please, please, I want braces so bad. What can I do to get braces? And they always basically told me when I get older and have my own benefits that that's when I can get braces. So that's what I did. I do have my father's teeth. My top teeth are really crowded. My bottom teeth, I never really noticed any sort of like a problem with crowding or crookedness or anything. It's mainly just my top teeth that really bothered me. They were so crowded where one tooth was on top of another, which was on top of another, and when I looked to a particular side, I had like a snaggle tooth is what I called it. But I will insert pictures of what my teeth used to look like. Now this all started, it started back in May when I went for my checkup. Basically I went in thinking that I wanted Invisalign. And my orthodontist pretty much advised against the Invisalign just because I do have crowding. I have an overbite, a crossbite, and rotated molars. So the stability of using the Invisalign, it just wasn't going to last. It wasn't going to give me permanent results. So she strongly recommended what I'm going through now, which I will explain. So first of all, I had molds taken in my mouth, and I had the records done. So they took, the film, the Panorix film, and all of that. But basically, to make this appliance, they took a mold. It's called the Haas appliance, the H-A-A-S, Haas appliance. Basically, it's a palate expander, and it is cemented in my mouth, so I don't get to take it out when I eat, which I will talk about in a moment. But yes, so they took a mold in my mouth. I have plastic on the molars here and here, and connecting this appliance is this metal bar contraption that sits at the roof of my mouth, but a little bit lower than the roof of my mouth. And basically what happens with this this contraption, this metal contraption, is for the first week I had to turn it, which basically moved the plastic appliance further and further outwards to expand my palate. I had to turn it twice a day. So really it was a total of 15 turns, which was fine. It really was just like quite a bit of pressure. I wouldn't say that it necessarily hurt. The only time it hurt, I guess, more and more as it was expanded, like near the end of the expanding process. It hurt the most, I guess, near the end, and the pain was more like just like a lot of pressure in your mouth, but it doesn't last very long. Like it would last for maximum 5 minutes, but you would notice pressure or really sensitive, I guess, sensitivity in your nose, and I found it on this side, my cheekbone here, but that's because the bones, which have gradually kind of came together and made your arch, are being kind of split apart, and it's the bones shifting in your face, really. And so it affects other areas of your face, which is fine, but there's no sensitivity, there was no physical difference, I guess, because of that, so no need to worry about that. The palate expander, in general, I hate it. Well, I'm so much more used to it now, so it's not so bad, but at first I was so upset. Like, I didn't know what I got myself into. I couldn't eat anything solid. I was on like a purely liquid diet for probably about 3 days, maybe 4 days. And it just really sucked. It just really sucked knowing that this is stuck in my mouth and I can't take it out if I wanted to. Basically, it gets better. You'll learn how to eat better with it in. There are still some foods that it's way too hard to eat. Like raw vegetables I find really difficult to eat. I do have braces, like brackets and braces on my lower teeth, so I'm not supposed to eat apples. But even if I were to, I can't close my mouth all the way. There's a space there, so like biting into something like an apple is like impossible. I have a really hard time with that because like my piercing teeth here, they're completely blocked by plastic. They can't actually rip and tear like they're supposed to. And then my molars, the top molars, are completely covered in smooth plastic, so it offers no help at all in chewing. It's just your bottom molars pushing it against smooth plastic. So anyways, eating takes a lot longer than normal, but it does get better. It does get better. It gets easier. At first I did have a pretty significant lisp. It was really difficult for me to speak, really difficult for me to swallow. It took a while for me to figure out how to swallow with this in my mouth, because when you swallow, you put your tongue on the roof of your mouth and you swallow, right? Well, now there's this metal contraption in your mouth preventing your tongue from touching the top of your mouth, so now there's a space, and it was like impossible for me to swallow. But I did end up figuring that out by the end of the day, and which was good, because when you first get it in, you're salivating like crazy, so you really want to swallow. But yeah, I guess I'll talk about the bottom teeth right now. They were put on at the exact same time just to save time, because I'm getting married next year, next September, and we were kind of pushing the time limit. I really only had about a year and a few months to kind of get everything done, but we're trying to get it all done before the wedding, and so we're multitasking. So we did put the brackets on the bottom. It was really quick. It was really painless, and the only thing that was sore was the brackets rubbing against my my lip. But they do give you dental wax, which I used religiously for the first week. I used it religiously for the first week. And now I don't use it at all. After then, your lip, I don't know, it toughens up or gets used to it, whatever, but it doesn't hurt anymore. I don't notice it. I don't have to use dental tape ever anymore. Dental wax anymore. They do provide these really interesting flossing devices. They're called platypus, and it helps get in between the wire, and you can floss down in between the wires for each tooth. I do really enjoy those. I tried to go to like a drugstore, a few different drugstores to pick them up, but they don't actually, I haven't been able to find where you can purchase it. But they do give it to me for free. Like if I go to my dentist and say I need more of the platypus floss, then they will give it to me. But anyways, so I recommend that. If your dental office does supply the platypus floss, it's just like the individual plastic handled floss that you can pick up at any drugstore. It's just one end of it is really flat and skinny, so it fits really easily in between your wires, because I can't actually use the other, the normal type of those plastic individual flosses, because it doesn't fit on my lower teeth there. So the length of time that this all should take, hopefully this this appliance will be taken off by December. I would love it if it could come off earlier, obviously, just because brushing your teeth is such a nuisance. Speaking is difficult. My tongue just gets really tired of it being in my mouth, and it would be super awesome if it can just be taken out earlier, but probably it won't come out until the middle of December. I had everything put in the middle of July. I believe it was July 15th. So it should be taken out in the middle of December. But in the meantime, I'm getting brackets put on the exposed front teeth to help straighten them, because what the palate expander does is it expands your palate, like I was saying, and the result of that is you do develop a gap in between your teeth, which I've recently developed. It's just really, really small right now. I do have about 3 more weeks before I get my my upper braces on, so it will probably get a bit bigger, but that's okay. I'm totally fine with it. It means it's doing its job, and I'm really excited about that. So I will have that to kind of fix the gap in my teeth. In the meantime, straighten them up as quickly as possible, knowing that we have that wedding date coming up next September. So we'll be putting that on. She said that the braces itself will be on for a year. Now, if I'm getting them on September 10th, my wedding is going to be about that time in the following year. So if they're not done in time, if they're not perfectly straight or where we want them to be in time, we're just going to remove the brackets for the wedding date and then put them back on to finish up the job. But hopefully I would like to remove them and then maybe just have like a couple of Invisalign to finish up the rest of it. But we'll see what my dentist says. That's pretty much it. That's my experience so far. I really like my orthodontist. She's very knowledgeable, and she helps me out, and I trust her, which is really good. They gave me so much free stuff to help me out, so that you know, they're expensive enough as it is. If you want to know about prices, it really does depend on the person and what your issues are and how long you're going to have the appliances and how many appointments you're going to have, and you know, the whole thing. But for somebody like myself, with what I'm going through, the entire ordeal is going to be $5,500, so $5,500. I am in the Maritimes in Canada, so again, it's going to differ wherever you are. That's definitely going to play a factor into it. But luckily, my insurance company covers $2,000, and my fiance's insurance company covers another $2,000. So out of pocket, I'm only $1,500. So this was a perfect time to do it. I'm really, really excited and happy. I hope that was informative. I'll give you close-up pictures of the appliance itself if you're curious. And if you have any questions, just let me know in the comment section below. And if you have any, if there's enough questions to make another video, I'll definitely make another one answering your questions. But if not, I'll just answer your questions with my updated videos. Like when I get my brackets on my top teeth, I'll probably let you know how that goes. I've heard that the braces on the top hurts your mouth more than on the bottom, so I'm sure I'll be using my dental wax quite a bit again, but I'll let you know with the next video. Bye guys.